Hey y'all, it's time for Wednesday Teacher Rant. And yes, I brought some notes. Listen, today I want to talk to y'all a little bit about this culture of zero accountability, where we don't hold our children accountable, where we don't hold our adults accountable, where we just don't hold anybody accountable anymore. Where is this coming from? And I was thinking, how did we get judges who say, "Oh no, he robbed the bank because he was living this, he was broke and poor, and so that's why he robbed the bank, so he shouldn't go to jail." Where does that come from? Uh, and that it's stemming from parents at home. You don't want to get into an argument with your kids. You don't want to fight with your kids. You don't want to have a negative interaction with your kids. So now you're gonna say, "Oh no, it's okay. Oh no, it's okay." And then, "Oh no, it's okay" at home turned into fighting at school because the teacher gonna say, "No, that's not okay." And then the children gonna be mad at the teacher, and then the teacher gonna call home with you. But because you don't want to have a negative experience at home, you gonna say, "Oh, but my kids don't do that." But no, y'all, we gotta do better. Not just in the school system. I mean, all around judges, lawmakers, attorneys, you know, and I watch all of these body cam videos, and some of these people do the most egregious things. And then at the end, it say, "Oh well, the district attorney struck a deal, and they only got anger management, or they only got." I mean, one time, this lady, she had took them on a run all around. I mean, almost for an hour. Then they had to end up pulling the guns on her and everything. And she only got like, probation. No, you gotta go to jail. We need to hold people accountable. And I always teach the children, stop, think, and breathe, and make the right choice. But for them, the right choice is different because they're not going to be held accountable. If I know I can do anything with no consequences, or I could follow directions and do what the teachers say and get a little treat at the end of the day, which one do you think I would pick? And that's the one the children pick. They pick to do anything without any consequences because we don't hold children, we don't hold people accountable. Let's go back to the days of holding people accountable. Even me, if I do something wrong, like I tell my principal, sometimes I don't do everything right. But if I have to be held accountable, do what's necessary. I believe in accountability. And even with students, when students come in my room and they do something wrong, and I have to, do some kind of punitive punishment where they're either writing or sitting with me, or they missing some kind of activity and they have to come in my room, I tell them, before you come back and re-enter my room and have fun with everybody, you owe me. You have to do what I asked you to do. If I say you are gonna write, you can get mad and storm out the room. But before you come back, you gonna write. No matter, ain't no hands down. No, I don't care what happened to you. I don't care when it happened. If I said because you did this, you are going to do this. You're gonna do it. And I tell them, even when they come back, it could be weeks later. They could go, "Oh, Mr. Demby, she was out because she was sick." Well, baby, guess what? Remember, this a new day, and I'm not gonna hold a grudge, but remember, you owe me this because last time you was here, this is what happened, and so now you owe me this. I'ma still hold it, and that's why that I need to finish my book called Heartless Teaching. But that's the basis of the book, holding people accountable for their actions. I don't care what happens. You still have to do what's right. And I always tell people with my special needs students, sometimes they know what they're doing. And whenever you say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna give him a strike," or I'm not gonna punish him because he's special needs. Whenever you do that, that's the wrong thing to do. You have to treat special needs students just like any other kid. They are kids. They know how to manipulate. They know the same things that they push buttons. They just can't talk. But I'm gonna treat them the same. I'm gonna love on them. But when they do something wrong, I'm gonna let them know. No, we're not gonna do that. That's not what we do. So you can love on them, but at the same time, you have to hold them accountable. Take your heart out of it. Your heart cannot be, your heart cannot rule where logic should be. Where logic needs to be, you cannot put your heart in it. If somebody rob a bank, they have to go to jail. You can't rule with your heart and say, "Oh no, they had a hard life, so it's okay that they robbed the bank." No, baby, you're going to jail. That's a good. I need to write that down. Your heart cannot rule where logic should be. Amen. And I'm a hush. That's all I had to say right there. This has been your Wednesday rant. And I did it without even looking at my notes. Normally I try to keep on track. But that's it. That is it. Y'all remember where the spirit of learning is, there is liberty. Y'all have a good day. Let's start holding each other accountable.